Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Studio Day Jeffrey. Day quarantine, not day quarantine. This is Jeffrey with the wet hair. I got some Cowboys rumor-rooskies we got to get to for you. Cowboys draft rumor-rooskies. This is one of the fun parts of working with the great Brian Broaddus, former NFL scout, is that he's got his gang of 7, which is GMs and pro personnel guys in the league that he talks to. And the rumor-rooskies today are going to involve your Dallas Cowboys and the potential of trading up. Now, I'm going to give you the rumor-rooskies, and then I'm going to tell you why they're dumb, and they should not do it. But the rumor-rooskies, and this is not from the Cowboys, so I guess this is technically a rumor-rooski of a rumor-rooski, but this is from other guys around the league who think that the Cowboys may be interested in moving up to number 7, where Detroit is right now, to make sure that they can get Patrick Surtain. First of all, that's a bad idea. I'll get to it in a second. Second rumor-rooski from a different guy in the league is that maybe the Cowboys would be trying to go bang-bang 7-4 for Kyle Pitts. That's an even worse idea, but those are your rumor-rooskies that are floating around in the football hemisphere. Now, why are these terrible ideas? Which one do you want first? The idea of going all the way up to get Kyle Pitts. Why that's a terrible idea? Well, to get from 10 to 7 would cost you number 44, 75, 99. So that would cost you it would cost you number 75. So it would take your third round pick to get you from 10 to 7. So now, if you want to get from 7 to 4, you know what that's going to cost you? That's going to cost you your second round pick. Okay? So now you don't have 10, 44, or 75, and it probably costs you another pick somewhere along the way. And you don't get to pick until number 99, and you did all that to go get Kyle Pitts. I am a Kyle Pitts lover. I love me some Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts is a gift that you accept if it shows up on your doorstep. If Florida tight end man, best tight end prospect I've ever seen, falls all the way to number 10, you snap him up, you thank your good fortune, and then you start talking about how you're going to address your defense. That's what you do. Patrick Surtain, if he's the guy you want, you sit at number 10, you wait, and if he's there and it's your guy, you accept your gift, and you move on with your day. For the Pitts purpose, it's because even as a guy who says, we're taking the best player available at 10, the end. I got 9 more picks, free agency, trading. You want to fix the defense, we can do it later, okay? Because picking an inferior player on purpose is a stupid plan in the top 10, so you don't do it. You pick the best player available. If Kyle Pitts is there, he's it. Penei Sewell, Rashawn Slater, their options. Patrick Surtain, Jaycee Horn, their options, right? Trading up to make sure you get Patrick Surtain is a terrible idea because of this. Courtesy of the great Brian Broaddus. We hear that inside the Cowboys building, it might be split on who's better between Patrick Surtain and Jaycee Horn, with the scouts thinking Surtain, coaches thinking Horn. Now, this is going to be an NFL nerd lesson for you. These things have been studied. When the league, the media who covers the draft, the pundits, when they believe there's a tier of players, Patrick Surtain, Jaycee Horn, they're definitely in the same tier of player. When we view it as a tier of player, the odds of the first guy selected being better than the second guy selected are about 49%. So technically the second guy's been better more often. And I believe this study is over like the last 15 years. So the NFL is really good at identifying who's good enough to be a first-round player, right? They hit way higher in the first than they do in the second, and so on and so forth. But when it comes to guys who are picked in a close range that play the same position, the NFL has been bad at figuring out which one's better with any consistency. So we all know Surtain is very good. Horn is very good. What data is going to tell you, take that for data. What data is going to tell you is do not be overconfident that when you've got guys whose grades are that close, that the guy that you have ahead is a lot better, because even the way you've graded him doesn't say he's a lot better, and therefore the idea that you would give up a pick to move up to make sure you get one of the two that we're not sure who's going to be better, it's bad. It's a bad idea. So the Cowboys trade up stuff. There are the rumor-rooskies that are currently swirling. I'll tell you, I don't buy it because I like to think that the football team I cover is smarter than that, okay? So that's your Cowboy Rumorooski of the day. Now, I do have some great mailbag questions from you out there. Thank you for listening to 105.3 The Fan, checking out the .com and youtube.com/Jeff Cavanaugh. The first one comes from a random guy named David Hellman at Hellman, D.C. Give me your ideal picks for 10, 44, 75, and 99 that feel at least somewhat realistic to you. Okay, you got it. I'll go number 10, Jaycee Horn. I won't be super aggressive and do a Kyle Pitts thing here. We'll take Horn with our first-round pick. In the second-round pick, I'm actually going to throw a little bit of a curveball here, and I'm going to go Boogie Basham, Wake Forest defensive end. Big fan. At 75, Florida State defensive tackle Marvin Wilson. If he didn't have a 2020 where they moved him to a three-man line playing defensive end and he had a bad meniscus, hell, if he'd sat out this year, he'd have got picked in the top 50. People are going to kill him on 2020. That's cool. I will be the recipient of the reward and pick him at 75. And at 99, I'm taking my pizza party guy, Ardarius Washington, TCU safety. Yeah, he's 5'8". He's 180. He's also got the best instincts in this draft class. He's a stud. Now, if I wanted to give you a second version, because I don't know if the Cowboys would actually pick a 5'8 safety, and Dave did say somewhat realistic, then I think we could go back to Horn. Let's flip Boogie Basham out of there, and we'll take Richie Grant, Central Florida, free safety. 75, I will stick with Marvin Wilson. And at 99, now I've got a D tackle, I've got a corner, I've got a safety. I don't know that I'll have an offensive lineman that I love in that range. Maybe an Ohio State linebacker. Maybe you could go another corner, or you could go edge there. End of the third round, that's a good spot for an edge. Just got to pull up my list of them. You guys have gone, just go back and check my top 10 defensive ends. There's a whole gang of them that I like. It's just a matter of who makes it to 99. That's different routes that you could go. Josh G., are you completely out on Shaun Wade? It's Ohio State corner Shaun Wade. I feel like everyone's completely out on him as a prospect, but I think a fourth-round pickup as a slot corner or a free safety would be good value. So Shaun Wade in 2018 played okay for Ohio State. In 2019, he played really well as the slot corner. In 2020, he played outside corner, and he got torched. Now, I hear he was banged up as well. He had a toe thing going on. But either way, that tape is not going to help you because all it did was tell me, whoops, I don't think I can play him on the outside in the NFL. So now it's a matter of where am I going to take him to put him back in the slot and think that he can do that in the NFL or to play him at safety? And I do think the answer is the fourth round. With a guy that has already played the slot really well in college, I think on day 3, when you're taking a bunch of guys that you're picking guys based on traits and what they might become, that's where Shaun Wade belongs. So you can do that. I'm down for that. Jesus Flores, would you take Baron Browning at 44? Baron Browning, the Ohio State linebacker. I think that's the range. I don't think he'll be one of my top players available, but I also think he'll be gone by 75. So that's why people move around in the draft, or you have to take a guy before you want to, because if you want the player, that's where you'd have to take him. I am a big fan, and I think that he's going to get better and better. I love the explosiveness. I love the power. I love some of the coverage stuff that he shows, but he shows it not from a regular linebacker spot. He plays outside the formation, but I have seen some good coverage things. I like Baron Browning. 44, I think I'll have better guys available. Jared says, how do Slater and Sewell compare to last year's top tackles? They'd be in the mix. I think last year's tackle class was a little better than this year's tackle class. I know everybody is head over heels for Penei Sewell. He's my second tackle behind Rashawn Slater, and he's really, really good. But Jedrick Wills and Tristan Wirfs a year ago, they were incredible offensive tackle prospects. Mekhi Becton was a really good prospect, and Andrew Thomas was a good prospect. So I think that Slater and Sewell would probably be, for me, either 2 and 3 or 3 and 4 in last year's class. Let's see here. Carlton Barber, Brevin Jordan. Compare him to NFL tight ends playing now, and what round value do you give him? That's Miami's Brevin Jordan. He's my second tight end at the moment, ahead of Pat Freiermuth at Penn State. But his testing concerns me a little bit because he's a small tight end that didn't test as an athletic tight end. On tape, he is pretty good with the ball in his hands after the catch. So I will have him in the 3rd round. That is where I will have Brevin Jordan. Christopher says, Captain Trade Down, you willing to trade back even if Surtain's still on the board at 10? And how far are you willing to trade back at all regardless of who's on the board? That's a great question. I did this last night. You can go to youtube.com/Jeff Cavanaugh, watch the mock drafts I did last night, because I did one where I traded down to 19 or 20, and I got screwed. All my guys were gone. Because my guys, if I'm going to do a trade back, are you're hoping for Jaycee Horn. If he's gone, I'll consider Greg Newsome, Northwestern corner. I'll consider Elijah Vera Tucker, USC offensive lineman. And in my trade back, all the guys that I was trading back thinking I might get, even JOK and Parsons, it was like bang, bang, bang. They all went right before I was up. And I was sitting there going, crap, who the hell am I going to pick? So I love trading down. I love it. But I feel like you can't go past 16 or 17 or you get in danger of having my terrible, terrible scenario, what happened to me. Make sure you leave in the comments what you want to talk about tomorrow. We'll mailbag it all the way up to basically the NFL draft next week. Make sure you're checking 1053thefan.com every day. We're dropping content there all the time for you. The YouTube page, obviously, in the comments is where I can get the things that we're going to talk about tomorrow. So just hit me up there and make sure that you're being cool to everybody because you have no idea what anybody is going through. You know what I'm saying? I love you. Bye.